Hey, my friends in Darlington, Indiana, North Montgomery High School. My name is Jeff Yalden, suicide prevention expert, teen, youth, motivational speaker. I've spent 23 years of my life working with teens in mental health, teen depression, doing high school, middle school assemblies, and teaching suicide prevention. I'm honored that your community and a couple of students have reached out to me today, but yet I'm sad to have to come to you with the video. You've had 3 losses in less than 1 year. 1 loss is way too many. We lost Bryce Foster, 9th grade in June. We lost Caitlin Crawford, 10th grade this past February. And just yesterday, you lost Derek Mays, 11th grade. My friends, I don't know much. I have not asked for details. I'm not going to go as far as to say that these are suicides, but I'm going to talk about loss. I'm going to talk about suicide. If I offend or hurt anybody's feelings, please accept my deep apologies. It is not my intention. My intention is that when a community reaches out to me in crisis mode, I want to reach out with my heart. I want to bring hope back to the community. And I want to be there for the students, the staff members, families, and the community. Having said that, before I go any further, I want to offer my prayers and thoughts most certainly to the families of these 3 young students, Bryce, Caitlin, and Derek. I am sorry. I've been through this enough times to know your pain. And I know the pain for the students, the staff members. I know the pain of the administration. I understand. I know also that it will be okay. We will be okay. I wanted to stop by and just share a couple things. Number one, I understand. I got into this profession because when I was 16 years old, my family had moved from New York to New Hampshire. I found myself at 2:30 in the morning with a 9mm and a bottle of Tylenol. I didn't want to die, but the pain was so severe I was ready to die. By the grace of God, my father had just walked down the stairs for some unknown reason. I looked at my dad's eyes and I said, "Dad, I need help." And I have never been afraid to ask for help since. And if I was to sum up my whole conversation with you, my friends, when you have pain in your heart, don't ever be afraid to ask for help. So what do we do now? Number one, I want you to understand that as devastating as this is for the families, I want to turn my attention to a school community, to a community in pain, asking a lot of questions. Students, this is way more than you should ever deal with. 1 loss is too much, like I said. 2 losses, devastating. 3 losses, we are definitely in crisis mode and we need to do something fast. Whether you believe it or not, winter time is not the time when suicide is most prevalent. It is the springtime. We are in the springtime. I also want you to understand, to all of the staff members at North Montgomery High School, my prayers and thoughts are with you. I'm sorry. And students, please understand your staff is human. They're asking questions why, and these questions may never be answered. But know that your staff members are in as much pain as you are. To the administration, no administrative certificate will ever teach you how to deal with the loss of a student, let alone 3 of them. Know that your administration is lost and confused. They want answers, but they're in a position where they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. What we should not be doing is placing blame. I don't care why, because why doesn't matter. What matters is where we are today. Let's not place blame that the administration and the staff should do this, they should do that, Because if you do this, you have to deal with that. And if you do that, then you have to deal with this. There's no right or wrong thing that they can do. But it's what can we do? We as students, we as staff members, we as a community. And right now, I think we embrace the families. Most importantly, we embrace the families right now. And embracing the families, we embrace each other too. We have love in our heart. We reach out and help without expecting anything in return. And forgiveness. Wouldn't it be awesome if we lived in a world where we could all learn to forgive as quickly as we judge? We can all be better at that. I think we should also know that in time it will be okay. We will move forward. And when we move forward, let's move forward together as a community. Let's move forward as a school community, as North Montgomery High School. Let's move forward in love and peace and kindness. But let's never forget. Many people say, why? I specialize in teen suicide. I've spoken at schools all over the country in crisis mode. I've dealt with schools having to bring the kids back to say, hey, listen, we got to move forward. Because the bottom line is the administration can't say, okay, boys and girls, it's time to move forward. But maybe that's why you bring in an outsider. Because as hard as it is, I can tell you right now that Bryce Foster is not walking back through the door. I'm sorry. I can tell you right now that Caitlin Crawford is not walking through the door. I'm sorry. And yesterday, Derek Mays. I'm sorry. I want to show you a little something. I hope you can see this. This is my theory of suicide. And what you'll see right here are 3 circles. And right here, the first circle I want to talk about is a feeling of thwarted belongingness. Basically, what this says is, I'm alone. You can see that right there. And this represents a belief on the part of the individual that he or she does not have meaningful relationships. My friends, meaningful relationships we create. We bring them about. We give meaning to other people's lives, and other people give meaning to our lives. And sometimes that becomes misconstrued and conflicted for whatever reason. I'm going to get back to that. In this other circle here, we have what's called a perceived burdensomeness. And basically what that means is I am a burden, or you feel like you're a liability. This represents a belief on the part of an individual that he or she does not make any notable contributions to the world. Again, it's like another feeling that you serve as a liability. You feel like you're a burden on maybe your parents, a burden on your grandparents, a burden on your peers, or whatever it might be. When these 2 circles interject, that's when you have the desire for suicide right here. Does that make sense? This right here is when these circles together interject each other. This right here, where it's colored in, does that make sense? That right there is suicide or near lethal suicide attempt. Let me also say something too. Thinking about suicide is not a problem. It's not an issue. When it becomes an issue is when you think about self-harming yourself or harming other people. That is when you need to open your heart and ask for help immediately. Quickly, as you see this third circle, this is the third circle in the whole theory of suicide. And that basically is the capability for suicide, more or less the desire that one wants to take their life. What this represents is a habituation to physiological pain and fearsome experiences due to repeated exposure to painful and provocative events. So what you're looking at here is you have this feeling that you're alone, that you're a burden to somebody. When those two circles interject, that is when someone has the desire. Then you add the third circle, and that is the capability for suicide, the desire for suicide. You know, there's also many people that want to place blame on, well, this happened or that happened, or bullying or cyberbullying. You know what? We can talk all day about that. But the bottom line is, bullying should not mean that somebody wants to take their life as a result of how someone is making them feel. Somebody can make them feel in such a way that they're sad, but then that becomes the person's responsibility to do something about it. So I want to real quickly, let's not place blame on anything. The only blame that we can place is on ourselves, our attitude, our behavior, our choices, the way we respond to situations, not the way we react to situations. And having said that, and I want to be very careful because I want to be sensitive to the situation and not try and teach my theory so much. But the bottom line is, when you have pain in your heart, don't ever be afraid to ask for help. In conclusion, in short, I love you. I'm sorry. My prayers and thoughts are with you. But know that as a school and a community, we're going to be okay. And I want to leave you with this. Don't ever be afraid to ask for help. I suffer from major depression. I'm diagnosed with it. I suffer from anxiety. I go to therapy 3 times a month. I personally believe in cognitive behavioral therapy, where I can talk to my therapist and I can understand how I respond to situations, and how when I can stop and think and maybe ask for help, situations become better. I also believe in the combination of cognitive behavioral therapy and medication. Yes, I take medication. I personally believe that when you ask for help and you look into why you might be reacting to situations, therapy and medication, it's done wonders for me. My friends, be a nice human to each other, but most importantly to yourself. Embrace love. Embrace peace. Put away the cell phones at night. Put away the social media. Stop being so connected. And sometimes just take a moment to yourself. Breathe in love and just exhale peace into the world. Or breathe in peace and exhale love. I want to thank the very special people that reached out to me and said, Jeff, we need help. I'm here for you all. I love you. I'm sorry. We're going to have to move forward in a short time. But right now, it's all about Derek. It's about his family. I want each and every one of you to hug your teachers and administrators and hug each other. My name is Jeff Yalden. My website is jeffyalden.com. Know I'm here for you.